Well, good morning and welcome to the lowdown from lockdown on Monday, the 8th of June. Well, on Friday, I watched on TV, perhaps you did also, the encouraging and very uplifting news that Ireland has decided to ease some of its lockdown restrictions beginning today. Yep, today on the Emerald Isle, the southern portion at least, groups of 6 can meet indoors. 15 people can gather outdoors for sporting activities, and funerals can now be attended with up to 25 people. Next week, Ireland plans to open shopping centres in a further move to accelerate the lockdown release. Now, this announcement, alongside our own news yesterday that no deaths were recorded in Scotland during the preceding 24-hour period, would indicate that real progress is being made in the fight against COVID-19. An end may be in sight. Now, that being said, the way in which the Irish Taoiseach Leo Varadkar concluded his speech attracted a fair bit of attention. It raised a few eyebrows, and it may have rung bells, shall we say, with those of us who are movie buffs out there. He said this as he closed his press conference, I quote, he said, "This afternoon let me end with words of hope. In the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come, and when the sun shines, it'll shine out the clearer." Now, if you're wondering, that ending wasn't a magnificent piece of work from the Irish PM's scriptwriters. No, it was a direct lift, a word-from-word quote from Samwise Gamgee's encouraging pep talk towards his buddy Frodo Baggins in the movie Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. The Irish PM just slipped in and quoted a film reference in his address to the nations. Well, anyhow, even though these fine words about sun shining out clear and darkness passing didn't originate with the Irish PM's imagination, they do lay hold of a vital truth that we'd all, I suggest, do well to grasp. Light does ultimately conquer the darkness. The sun does shine clear, and in doing so, it dispels the dark shadow that looms in this particular age. You see, in the Bible, darkness represents everything that is anti-God and against his plan. The wicked walk in the ways of darkness, Proverbs 2 verse 13. In Acts 26, Paul speaks of those who may turn from darkness to light, from the power of Satan to God. Isaiah 9 equates separation from God, spiritual ignorance, to dwelling in darkness. And in Ephesians 6, Paul speaks about wicked powers, forces of evil who thrive in this present darkness. But here's the good news. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness will not overcome it. This light is the light of Christ. You see, folks, it's not only a character from Lord of the Rings or the Irish PM who declares that darkness must pass. It's temporary. Its reign will end. Our God, who is himself the Father of light, has shone into the hearts of believers and has removed the shadow of God's judgment on sin that was laid upon us. In Colossians 1, Paul writes about how God has delivered us from the domain of darkness and transferred us to the kingdom of his beloved Son. The Son Jesus, who declared himself to be the light of the world, who says that whoever follows him will never walk in darkness. So do rejoice in this truth if you are a Christian today. And if you're not yet a follower of this light of man, then do let me encourage you today to step from the shadow and come to the one who is the light of your salvation. Do come to the one who is the light of the world, who stepped down into darkness, opened my eyes, let me see. You know the song, don't you?